NZ Aerosports, Icarus Canopies, now Gyro. That's right, we've rebranded, and Gyro is our next generation. It honours our founder, as that's the name we knew him by, but Gyro also marks the start of a new chapter. And not to be biased, but it's going to be fucking epic. Long story short, we're more us than ever, so if you're new to the sport, or even a Sky God Ninja Turtle, welcome. I think our valiant leader Lucy, Gyro's daughter, says it best.
And we still got that fuck yeah attitude. Rebrand! Woo!
Rebrand woo indeed, Lucy. Anyway, head over to gyro.com for more info and get amongst you legends.
I was 19, broke, unemployed, and sold my girlfriend's canopy for drug money. So I thought I better sew her a new one. What a sentence, and what a story. This describes the humble yet outrageous beginnings of NZ Aerosports, the home of Icarus Canopies, in the words of our founder himself. From getting a paratrooper toy from his mom, watching parachutes at the DZ as a 6-year-old, jumping off the wharf with a parachute made from bed sheets, doing his first jump at 16, sewing his first canopy on a borrowed machine at 19, and starting to sell parachutes out of a garage in 1986, Paul Gyro Martin had an undying love for the sky. Our company started with one man with the wildest of spirits and a true blue sky dream, a renegade. In the time that Gyro created and ran the Icarus Canopies brand until he passed away in 2017, he pushed everything he had to its limits. We miss him, and we always will. Gyro is the next generation of NZ Aerosports. It honors our founder, of course, because it was the name we all knew him by, but Gyro the rebrand also marks the start of a new chapter, our next jump. Gyro is the space between sound and silence, art and science, chaos and calm. Gyro is a state of epic tranquility that transcends understanding. That moment, in the door, in free fall, mid-swoop, where nothing but the present exists. A perfect balance of euphoria and thrill. Gyro captures our passion for flying and our commitment to designing break-the-fucking-rules canopies that deliver pilots pure, wild flight. Hey gang, so I got a new book out. It's called The Upside of Fear, and it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the good side of, well, getting scared. In it, we talk not only about the science and biology behind fear, but the psychology as well. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the best in the sport. Omar Alhijalan, Jeff Provenzano, Maxine Tate, and so many more have contributed their sometimes terrifying stories to the book to help you overcome your fear. So head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com. You're going to find the link to the book there, as well as the other books. It's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook right now.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go! Back in the can for another edition of the Lunatic Fringe podcast. And I only say back in the can because this is actually the second remote podcast from fucking Nepal, which is just ridiculous. But we're going to go around the table, some new folks and some people that you've talked to before. Who the fuck are you guys and what do you do?
You really have a podcast voice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you changed.
My name is Emma. I do tandems at Skydive Dubai and sometimes climb mountains.
Yeah, my name is Alberto. I'm the same. I work at Nepal, and I'm currently here in Nepal we climb this mountain, this high, tall mountain.
Big rock.
Big rock.
My name is Olga and I fly nylon for living, and apparently I'm a mountaineer now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this, and we've talked about that for a long time, is doing crazy shit like this, but the fact that we're all sitting in Nepal
alive
after having done some shit, I mean, this has been a hell of a trip, right?
It was.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're sitting in a hotel room in Kathmandu with a bit of a buzz going on after a fucking crazy trip up the mountain to go climb Island Peak. Or now, how do you say the
Say it is.
ChatGPT, like
Yeah, I don't know.
Island Peak. Let's
Island
keep it
Peak, okay.
easy.
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
keep it
Island
easy.
Peak. Island Peak, which
make it more
for
complicated than this.
for anybody that doesn't want to look it up, it's the first accessible mountain above 20,000 in Nepal.
Accessible.
Yeah,
Apparently, we're trekking.
Trekking.
yeah, trekking fucking mountain
yeah,
my
easy
ass.
ride.
Easy day.
All right. Well, first off, let's stick with the sport we all know for the most part. How did you get into skydiving and kind of what brought you to where you are?
I wanted to do one jump. It was expensive. I found a deal in New Zealand. You could do 200 for a bit cheaper, so I bought 200 of them. Didn't like the first one, but it already paid. So here we are.
You bought 200 jumps and didn't like it after number one.
Yeah.
So you just kept going because you had to.
Yeah, I already paid, so yeah.
But was it? Where was it? New Zealand.
There's a skydiving school there.
Okay, so you went through the school.
Yeah.
The one that gives you job assistance after the fact.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God, I've known many people that have gone through that school and actually worked with a packer in for ballistic blondes on the beach in Paia.
Yeah, I think every New Zealand skydiver's probably gone through there at some point.
How fucking funny
Good.
is that? It's honestly, it's got a great reputation though.
Yeah, it's pretty good. 200 jumps in, I don't know, 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
Work placement, you get a job at the end of it.
Wow.
Which is great if you like it.
Yeah. Well, how long did it take before you decided you liked it, or do you like it?
I mean, at the start, I thought it was going to be like bungee jumping. I thought it was going to be really cool, and it was just kind of windy and cold and kind of boring.
I think it's so Emma. I don't like it really climbing the mountain, but let's fucking send it, you know.
Right. Yeah. This sucks, but let's go.
Yeah, I've already said I'll do it, so why not? And then at the end of it, they give you a job, and it's getting paid to jump out of a plane is quite cool.
I mean, so I love it. You just kind of started down a path you didn't like and went, "Oh, fuck it, I already paid for it, and I've got a job now." That sounds like a union job, like in Middle America or something, where they're like, "Yeah, it's what my dad did and what my grandpa did."
Oh, why not, right?
Fucking hell, I love it. Hey, why not? Why not? And so, how'd you end up all the way in Dubai from New Zealand?
I guess I was working in New Zealand. COVID hit, took all the skydiving away. Dubai got really busy. I'm a chick, so they're always looking for girls to jump with the
Nice.
the ninjas.
So you kind of went on the fast track because I mean Dubai notoriously is a difficult place to get into, and you kind of went from school to Dubai.
I think they were desperate.
All right, fair enough.
They were scraping the bottom of the barrel there. They needed to get a bunch of new people, and
All right, good to know. So anybody listening that wants to do a tandem, Emma's
our best female instructor from New Zealand at
all
the
right.
moment.
Straight out of school, and she doesn't really like it. Let's do a jump. All right.
That's my passion.
All right. And funny enough, Alberto, as we sit and talk, I think your first episode is running. I kind of wanted to reacquaint the people that are listening now to who you were. But please, for anybody that missed that episode, fill us in how you got started in jumping.
Well, I did my first tandem in 2008, and just like everyone else, I loved it. And sorry. Just like 99% of the people did tandem, I loved it, and I started my FF course the week after, I think, and then just kept spending a lot of money. I kept jumping, and then I became instructor and so on.
Nice. So did you go straight to instruction, or did you shoot video first? Or?
No, I was doing video. I was doing like a belly competition for like 2.5 years, 3 years, and then start to become FF first, and then tandem instructor.
Okay, cool. I kind of went the other direction. I did AFF or tandem and then AFF, but similar in the video first thing.
Yeah, as soon as I became instructor, like I went to Australia because in Italy it was impossible to work, and then I started working professionally there in Australia.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many years into the game did you end up in Dubai?
After a couple of years, 2 years, so pretty quick.
Nice, yeah, that's fast as
I
well.
was the same like Emma, like they were desperate for people, I guess. And then, then a good friend of mine, a good friend of mine at Mass, told me like they were looking for instructor. I just sent a CV and they took me.
Oh, that's awesome.
2013.
It was at 13, okay.
2013,
12 years now. Was it 2015 you took my daughter on a tandem?
I think so, yes.
Somewhere right around there.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because the story behind that was
I don't know why you trust me, but
my daughter had known Jackson from when she was a little kid. She had a crush on him, and he was going to take her on a tandem, but he ended up being out of town when that happened. And so
a second best option.
Yeah.
You found the younger one.
Well, no, I was trying to be the coolest dad ever. So as soon as Jackson couldn't go, I'm like, all right, who would she really enjoy going with? I'm like, well, how about the 6'5" really handsome
Sexy
Italian
Italian.
guy? And I'm like, it's fucking gotta be Alberto. It's not Jacko, it's gotta be Alberto. So that was, you took her. And
Well, thanks for the trust.
yeah, man. Well, and I still remember that jump vividly because I was so nervous, I couldn't even fly the plane. I had to sit co-pilot and just take pictures like a dad. Yeah, so I remember that. All right, Olga,
Yeah.
how'd you get started?
I've been on this podcast so many times. Jumped out of the airplane with a round parachute first time.
Very brave, huh?
Twice.
And black and white, yeah.
Yeah.
Black and white. Those are just the black and white photos. Loved it. Funny enough, and found a FF school in Ukraine, and I was driving every weekend 500 kilometers just to get my jumps in. And 3 years after, I did a tandem instructor course, and sold my soul for money, jumping out of a plane, and end up in Dubai 9 years ago.
9 years. God, it's been that long.
I know it's been.
Wow.
So your progression in the sport, though, I mean, you kept going even though you had a tough beginning because the canopy side of things was not your.
It was not at all. The whole drop zone would come outside to watch me landing the parachutes. Yeah, they would be like, okay, that's going to be entertaining. Okay, like let's watch her landing
just
this.
coming. Look at that.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least it
Pretty
prepared you
much.
for Island Peak,
Yeah,
right?
it did. But that taught me a lot, and I think just because I had a tough, I consider myself a good coach. I can explain better things to people who struggle with landings because I've been through that. It wasn't easy. So it's, it's a silver lining. Somewhere there.
Always learning, though.
Yeah.
Always learning. So, talking more about this particular region, the three of us, Alberto, Olga, and I have been in Nepal before and been up the mountain before. And Alberto, you're actually the only one of the group that's made the jump here.
I was lucky enough to jump there, yes.
So how's that?
Oh, best jump of my
I'm
life.
so fucking jealous.
It's really, really cool, bro.
Short
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Very short one, though.
Very short, yeah, because you jump from I think 24,000 feet.
Yeah.
And you basically have 9 feet total, from takeoff to jump. But obviously, you have to jump. Oh, fuck, I don't know what to say.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
fucking, it's an intense goddamn jump. I mean, I was lucky enough to be ground crew and help out a little bit for
it's amazing,
two times
yeah.
up there. Yeah.
There's
I was
actually
lucky.
a photo of him hanging in the bar in Namche Bazaar. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Do you know who hung that there?
What?
The photo of you in the bar.
And the bar. Yeah.
Wait, so there's
Well,
a picture
they
of
asked me to put it there.
there's a picture of you in the Irish pub in
No.
Namche
Yes.
Bazaar.
Yeah.
What, you
They
would
told
be
me.
a fucking t-shirt of all of us
Yeah.
if you would go down.
Well, we'll get to that part of the story.
Yeah.
I mean, but what a fucking... I remember when you got to go out and jump because... was it the season before that I was up there doing the ground?
It was
Yeah,
2023.
Yeah, so
On
and
the
it was
jump,
2022 is when I was up there, and PH, Paul Henry, the guy that kind of runs
Yeah.
the show up there,
Legend,
offered me a fucking slot, and I had to turn it down.
Why?
Because I wasn't current and I was still recovering from surgery.
Oh, yeah,
it's
right,
still the
that's
hardest
right.
fucking thing I've ever said no. He's all, so are you current? And in
Yeah.
my mind is like, just say yes, just say yes, just say yes, do the fucking jump. And I couldn't do it. I
Oh,
couldn't.
you can sometimes make a smart decision. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, every once in a while. Well, I had to, because if I fuck that up, the only people that suffer is Everest skydive, not me. I mean,
How many jumps you've done there? Quite a few, no?
3.
3 jumps, yeah?
3 jumps, yeah.
And there was hop and
One
pop
open
first?
pop and 2 free fall jump. And one jump was with Omer.
Amazing.
Two-way free fly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's great.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was really,
And
really
then
cool.
how long was a free fall?
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Yeah, super short.
That is insane.
Okay, hey, we have drinks being delivered.
Thank you.
Margarita,
All right.
where's yours?
I fucking love it.
Unless you gotta wait a little longer.
That's
Yeah,
Steve's
that's
wife, by the
fine,
way.
that's
That's
fine.
Steve's wife.
So, speaking of the jump, you are scheduled to come back here and jump in November.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Inshallah. But yes, I'm super excited. I was very inspired by Alberto and Omar jump there. And a good friend of ours giving this opportunity to us to do that in November. So I'm really excited. I love Nepal. Nepal, either you love Nepal or you don't.
Yeah.
Once you hear, the mountains just steal your soul, steal your heart.
Yeah.
Every time you come here, it feels like, I don't know, freedom in a way, like skydiving in a way. It's
Sure.
just, like with the mountain that we've been up to right now, right? Like we skydive and we all jump from 4,000 meters, and now we've been at 6,100. Whatever, it depends what
89.
Google
89.
depends, no, yeah, but some Google says 56, 65, 89,
Yeah.
whatever. Let's say higher
69.
better, yeah, like 69.
High enough.
High enough. And yeah, like if everything works out, I'll be super stoked to try to
That's
jump
awesome.
here. Yeah, probably not with a small parachute that I'm used to. I'm probably not going to take my Petra 67 here. Maybe
not.
something 230,
It's just a rough
240.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
You can borrow
super
my
stoked.
It's I agree with you in regard to the mountain, and it actually does in a way compare to skydiving in that the feeling you get in the mountains, if it does hit you that way, is that nervous excitement that you get when you're learning how to skydive, right? Because you're like, oh, this is not my element. Like I'm not meant to be here, and so you have to learn to navigate what it's all about.
Yeah, because you're meant to breathe, right? You're meant to have enough oxygen in your lungs.
Big fan of oxygen.
Yeah. Well, clearly, I mean, you can hear it in my voice. Clearly, you're not meant to spend a whole lot of time in altitude. It definitely has its effect. So, who made the decision initially to do this trip? Because this trip was not about jumping. This trip was about going to climb Island Peak, which is just above 6,000 or 6,000 meters or 20,000 feet.
I know the answer to this question if you
Yeah, please.
allow me, because I think last year when we went to base camp Everest, we were passing, we were still going through the same route, through the same track, and I think not sure who was it who pointed to the Island Peak, and we started discussion about that, and we're like, oh, it would be cool to climb it. And I had no idea about this mountain. I was like, oh, Island Peak sounds really nice, like island.
That sounds good,
Yeah, the name sounds good, like an island. What do you like? Island, nice, soft,
Yeah.
easy.
Death Peak.
That's big, yeah. And our friend, after we met, we mentioned it a few months after, she was like, okay, like, you guys want to go and get all together and do this Island Peak thing? And I'm like, oh, Island Peak, yes. So
how it
cute.
started, yeah.
It's very cute, very cute.
Yeah.
And then she just organized us all together, contact each and every of us personally, and she asked, like, if we want to, like, well, it wasn't actually a question, right? It was like, okay, guys,
Okay,
hey,
yeah, let's
you
go
come
now.
in, you
Yeah,
go
this is
into
what's
Island
happening.
Peak, yeah, and you're like, okay, yeah, and I didn't even check the itinerary, I didn't check anything. I was like, okay, Island Peak should be easy, like the base camp Everest was fairly easy for everyone, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And then,
700 meters higher.
yeah, like,
What's that? No, what's
700 meters,
Yeah.
like, who cares? And then I saw who is coming, and it was incredible. Like, I know in the beginning it was Dean, Victoria, me, and then Alberto and Andre. Hi, Andre.
Our fallen soldier.
And Emma, who never hiked in her life. She did a couple of hikes with me in Ras Al Khaimah, and then she was like, oh yeah, I'm ready, and I'm like, well, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you guys attempted suicide on fucking Stairway to Heaven
Oh
in
my
Ras Al
gosh.
Khaimah.
Guys, if you're ever in Dubai, that's an advice for me. Do not go left bank. Just keep to the right,
Don't do the
up
loop.
and down. Do not do the loop. It's fucked up.
All right, so yeah, I mean the Island Peak thing kind of came about for me when it was I was supposed to go with you guys to Everest Base Camp in November, and I had to pass on that. So it was hey, because you missed this is happening. Do you guys want to go? And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I'm not gonna pass up the opportunity to go back to Nepal and now to do this as well. And then same thing, I found out who was going, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Let's fucking do it.
The group is amazing.
It's time to get back on the stairs. But so this started for us how long ago now?
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking
No.
about.
The whole trip started. When did we get into? I don't even know.
August.
No. When we got into Nepal.
Oh.
I don't.
17 for
We
us,
got in
me,
14,
Olga.
15,
17 of April.
14.
And it's okay. So we've been at it a
It's
while.
been like 12 days?
I
11 days.
For
yeah.
me?
I don't have any. The time has stopped working for me at this point. It just keeps fucking going.
Okay, we
Box
came
trip.
this trip. You mean?
Yeah, this trip.
Yeah. We arrived here, like at least you guys arrived here with Victoria. You and your wife arrived on 15th, I think, or 14th.
Yeah.
We arrived on 17th, And 18th, we started the trek, which was pretty fucking brutal. Because I remember last year, we were like, okay, we wake up, we go to the airport, we fly 15 minutes to Lukla, and we start a trek. Now we are like fucking awake at midnight, get in the van, and we drive, 6 hours? 6 hours. And like everyone, I remember like everyone wakes up and come to the van with only one fucking thought: we're gonna take a nap. And
we
then
we figured we could sleep.
we sleep in the van.
Take a nap in the van.
Yeah, and
It's gonna
then
be 6 nice hours of driving.
what is this place?
Ramachep. And it was 6.5 hours of the
Guys,
worst fucking potted road you can imagine.
if you ever going to trek in Nepal, that is advice from all of us. Pay fucking helicopter. Do not take a van.
That is the worst turbulence of your life for 6 hours.
Yeah.
In
It
a
just
shitty
didn't
little
end.
Suzuki
It was an
van.
experience.
It just didn't end. Well, I mean,
I think
Some
that's
concussions.
two or three of us got to Ramachep sick to our stomach and trying not to puke. Everybody was
that's
in
what
pain.
took Andra out.
Yeah. All right, we should mention.
Of course.
Come on, let's talk about him. So Andre was a part of the group. Well, you guys said.
He's still part of a group. You go ahead. Okay, I can't, guys,
Yeah,
you just put everything on me. Okay, Andre, we love you. Anyway, Andre had a rough start of the trip straight away. Like, he came to the airport and he had some issues, so he couldn't fly on, he couldn't catch the flight. So he had to stay in Dubai to sort his shit out. And
He missed the flight. First flight.
he missed the flight. So he missed the second flight as well because he didn't have any seats. So he ended up flying here in midnight. Pretty much he landed at 11 p.m. and got to a hotel at 12.
Straight to the hotel. He spent about 10
10
minutes.
Had a shower.
10 minutes in the hotel.
But then, he could sleep. He could sleep in the van. It's fine.
Exactly. So Andre is the first man ever that paid for Marriott 10 minutes.
10-minute shower in the Marriott
in
in
the bar.
Kathmandu, and then get straight in a van and have the shit kicked out of him for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
To which then we get right on a plane, fly to Lukla, and trek for 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah, and poor Andre, he came already with a little bit of sickness and getting up to the altitude so fast and without any rest, it took a big hit on him, for sure. He is a fighter. He was fighting he was trying to acclimatize as much as he could. But it was rough. He woke up with oxygen 69, which I blame Alberto.
Something about 69 with Alberto on his room. Yeah, that was what we heard.
Well, and he made it as far as Namche Bazaar, which is the second day of the trek, and I forget the altitude, but it's up high enough that if you're already sick, it's going to fuck with you. And his oxygen level dropped through the floor. And we're talking about an elite athlete. Like, Alberto, you call him the toughest guy you know.
Yes.
Like one of the fittest person I ever met. He runs marathon, Irox, Ironman,
Fantastic.
everything.
And for him,
the guy is a beast.
And we did the acclimation hike in Namche, which is, so you stay 2 nights in Namche, and he woke up on the day that we were supposed to leave Namche to go to the next village, and he had to fly down in a helicopter.
He saw Everest, though. At
He
least.
did get to see Everest.
He
He
got to
did
see
get to see
Everest, at
Everest,
least.
which is something. But
Nothing for sure.
I mean, for someone this is your first time up there, how was the trek for you initially, the first couple of days? Because I think the second day is hard as fuck going up to Namche.
Yeah, I mean, you've been telling us the whole time the second day was the worst day, so I was kind of mentally prepared for it, and then all of a sudden, I know now that's not true. It was the easiest day.
By comparison.
But, I mean, the first half of the trek, I mean, I don't want to be positive here, it was kind of shitty. You're just following up a bunch of stairs covered in donkey shit,
It's true.
I'm not much, it's not really my scene, honestly, the helicopter down, what about the helicopter up? Why don't we just do a heli tour next time? Once we got to Namche, it was cool. Namche's beautiful, and everywhere beyond there was great, but until we got there, it was just oh man, okay, that was... Just trail of donkey shit the entire way.
For sure.
Explain.
For sure. Well, now, Alberto, this is your, third time up?
No, more, I think 6 to 7.
Oh, nice.
7
So you've been up,
times,
and
In Nepal,
how many
yeah.
times up the Everest route?
Third one. This one was my third one. Yes.
Okay, cool.
I've
So
been
how
one
did
for Everest Base Camp, Everest Skydive, and this one for Highland Peak now.
how did this compare to the first two experiences, difficulty wise? Because you trained quite hard.
Yeah, this time I came, like, I was definitely fitter. I lost 15 kilos, so it was way easier for me.
Like without a backpack.
Yeah, without like a backpack, pretty much.
It's like the 50 kilos of
My
luggage
short-
of Andre's that they lost when he got back to Dubai,
Yes.
right?
But that's a story we can tell later.
Oh,
But
that's right. I forgot he lost his luggage too.
on the way back, yeah.
Don't get to it. We're not there yet.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh.
No, but it was definitely better, yeah. The easiest time for me.
Oh, nice. Martinis. Thank you.
Martinis.
Thank you very much.
For you that do not know, Lunatic Fringe fucking pilot has the best wife ever.
I do. I do.
Ah, for
you want
sure,
to say
yes.
hello? Introduce yourself.
Hello.
Get your margarita going.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, she doesn't even listen to the podcast, so she can. It's fine. So, I mean, this trek was the beginning of it for me too. Was the easiest that it's been. This is my third time up here as well. But as we got all the way up to the top and got ready for the actual climb, shit started getting pretty real. Like, what were your guys' mentality going into the actual climb, going into the mountain? Like, were you super confident, or were you?
I don't think you're never confident, no? Like, when you get there, like, you just hope to make it and hope for the best. Good weather and feeling good.
Well, fuck. Weather-wise, could we have had better?
No.
No, yeah, no, it was amazing.
It was best. It was funny enough, like, right? Because the guys that been here before us, our friends, Alan, hi, they had a terrific weather. They had like fucking
Sleet and snow and couldn't see
everything.
shit.
Horrible.
The moment we landed, it
Peeing
was
story
sun.
though, huh?
Yeah.
Poor guy, so hard.
Yeah, but like we came here and the track was absolutely amazing. It was the first time, like it was the second time for me to trek this route, but it was the first time I was wearing t-shirt, and I'm like very terrible with cold. But like talking about the track, funny enough, not like Alberta, because the track seemed really easy to me this time, and the altitude, I haven't had any altitude sickness. I haven't had to take any diamox or anything. I thought like, fuck, I'm gonna smash this mountain, you know? Like I was like, I woke up to this track, I'm like, fucking easy, no problem at all, and this mountain ate me alive.
Yeah, I was really comfortable on the trek as well, and I had nowhere near the confidence you did in regard to that fucking mountain. I'm like, we'll see when we get there.
Yeah, you never
It's
know.
a trekking peak, right?
They call it
Walk down.
a trekking peak. My ass.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the first time I got the reality of the situation was on the trek into base camp when you got an unobstructed view of the mountain and you saw just how fucking high that thing looked. Because from base camp to the top of the mountain was how many meters? 700 meters?
Base camp, top.
No, 1,000.
No,
Like, oh, that's right. Oh, no,
1,000
1,100.
meters, yeah.
So just I mean,
Base camp was 5'1", mountain on 6'2".
Yeah.
6'2", yeah.
so
Just a kilometre straight up, and that's it.
yeah, only a straight up kilometer. Well, so let's talk about the start of everything. We got into base camp, had like 5 or 6 hours to chill, and then we woke up at 10 to have breakfast at 10:30 p.m.
Man,
Right.
it was
Boiled eggs
crazy.
and porridge.
Boy, that's some beautiful pork.
Oh my God!
Olga's favorite.
It's easy. Like I thought we're not gonna have enough food there, but the food were the Michelin star,
That
right?
curry
Like
for dinner though was
exactly,
really good.
it was amazing. Like
Michelin star, yeah.
we were eating way too much this day, and I felt like, I cannot eat more food in my belly, but you're always hungry, right?
Yeah.
Like you eat at 5. And you wake up, well, if you sleep a little bit, you wake up for breakfast at 10 p.m. and you get like some eggs and you're like, oh yeah, I'm hungry. And then Alberto smashes 2 porridge. No problem at all. And here we go. 10:30, gear up, 11 p.m. start.
Yep. Yeah,
And-
pretty much.
11
Like
to 5,
1 a.m. dead.
Yeah. Oh, by 11:10, you're like, oh shit. Well, I think it was 20 minutes until it actually got to the steep part.
Yeah, 20
So it was. I think. I mean, I'm sure everybody was at least comfortable getting to the steep part, but
Oh, you were so excited, dude.
10
You were like,
yeah.
here we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
10 steps into the steep part, all of us are like, oh shit. shit.
And it's just
You
6
guys
more
were
hours
so-
of this.
You guys were so cute when you were saying that you were gonna stay in my pace, and we left base camp, and I never saw you again. Bye, fucking
The
monster.
next day, no?
Yep,
The
yep.
next day. Yeah.
Well, because they assigned you your own Sherpa, didn't they?
Of course.
Yeah, they're basically like, okay, the 4 of you are in one group, and then the second group is
The
Victoria.
Special group.
And I think we should all stay apart from Alberto because Alberto is a special case.
He was a
He's
machine.
a mountain goat.
He was a machine.
He just thrives on altitude. But I think if all of us would stay with Victoria, with the pace that Victoria was going, I think we all had a chance because honestly, we started earlier because we knew we were going to go slow.
Sure.
Because of Victoria,
And
right?
we didn't go slow.
And we did
And
not go slow.
We did not go slow. And that
So-
fucked us up a lot.
I
And
think
out of 6 people, 2 did not have really like altitude sickness, and it was the strongest and the weakest.
Well, so we when we got into it, we set a pace that felt fast. It certainly felt fast to me, but I was going to try and keep up as much as possible, and then
0.4 kilometers per hour. It doesn't
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
fast, but
it was fucking
it was fast.
blistering pace.
4
And I-
kilometers per hour.
0.4.
0.4.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's our pace.
0.4 kilometers an hour. But I think it was maybe
Wow, it's
not even
amazing.
30 minutes into it the first time I heard somebody say, we're going fast, can we slow down?
Everyone was saying that.
And then all of us started saying, yeah, so everybody. But the pace did not slow down. Like, we all said it, and then we all kept going
Is
the
this
same
slower? It
fucking
feels
speed.
the same, yeah.
Yeah, all of us. And it was up until we got to the first section that they had rope, which I believe, is that the traverse? Is that what they call it?
Traverse, yes, but
Yeah, I think
that's
so,
where
yeah.
you're supposed to have a Juma, which we didn't have.
I mean, they're in the
Because-
bags. We just didn't
Yeah,
have them on.
but
Yeah, we had them.
We had them, but that's where you normally
already.
should be using the Juma, but we didn't. Because there was some knots on the rope,
Trying
you
to save
know, and
time.
we had still some power, so we powered up somehow without breathing much. But
Well, that was also, I think, just before we got to that section was the first time I heard somebody go, I think I'm going to puke. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, I think I'm fucking going to puke
I
too.
wanted to puke the entire time. I wasn't sure if I want to puke or shit. I'm sorry, guys. But, like, it was like all at the same time, man. Like, it was just like, it's altitude sickness is not a fucking joke. Like, you don't
No.
know what your body is doing to you. You just like run, I don't know, you run with it.
Yeah, oh,
And
yeah.
our Sherpa's at the front singing.
Yeah.
Right, I know it.
Whistling, singing.
Well, and the I don't remember his name, but he was behind us and he was chanting the entire time.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very comforting to hear him chanting because I'm like, well, as long as he's chanting, we must be doing okay.
He's bored as fuck. He's just like, oh,
Absolutely.
oh, most of it
I
is
actually
like-
turned around to him at one point and I'm like, is this as easy for you as I think it is? And he just kind
Yeah,
of
we have to
giggled
say
at
the
me.
guy's been on Everest how many times? 17?
17.
Yeah.
17 times?
How
Yeah, we had an
ridiculous is
amazing
that?
Sherpa, yeah. Like,
Amazing.
Migma-
He literally
Migma-
shows up 30 minutes
Yeah.
before we do
Migma.
this.
Yeah, because he jogged up from the other camp, you know?
Yeah.
Big shout out to Migma. I'm not sure you're gonna listen to this podcast, but you are a fucking machine.
Absolutely.
Wednesday,
Legend, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
No,
Such a
Tuesday,
legend.
Tuesday, sorry.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yep. Well, I know we got past the traverse and kept on going, and it just kept getting harder and harder. But it also got fucking cold because the wind started to pick up, and my tube for my water froze.
Everyone's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah,
Not
and
a
all
lot.
but some of you
Not
guys,
mine.
yeah, well,
Not
Not mine,
mine.
was inside the backpack.
Yeah, the slowest one did not freeze.
Hydration is a
6
scam.
hours.
It's fine.
well, and
Put
luckily.
electrolytes.
A couple of you had bottles of warmer water. Otherwise, I would have had nothing
yeah,
to
but
drink
we
for the
didn't
last
have-
3 hours.
Yeah, but we didn't have time to stop and take it
didn't
out
have
of the
time
to drink
backpack,
it.
you know. So
I
it was
know it.
like it was nothing. Like
That warm
you
water was
fucking-
in there when I got to base camp.
And then, yeah.
It was an ass kick. I mean, all the way past that point, and I think it was for me personally. We got to just shy of 5,800 meters, and we had stopped for a rest. And
Alberto told you the altitude when.
yeah, because I asked him when I had made
Yeah.
the decision, because I was just kind of self-assessing, and I'm like, all right, I've got the gas to get to the top, but I will not be safe getting down, because I was already stumbling occasionally on the way up, and I'm like, it's quite steep as well, so I'm like trying to work my way down if I'm going to continue doing this for another 3 hours up or 4 hours up. I'm not
Probably
going to
more,
have.
And it's like, what, 2 a.m.?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2 a.m.
Pitch
and
black,
we're
yeah.
expected to summit at like 5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I called it and I said, guys, I'm going to go down because I had asked you what the altitude was.
And it was a good
almost,
call.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, for me personally, it was the best call. That was and I'm happy that my summit's fucking 5,800 meters. That's
Yeah,
nothing to sneeze
perfect.
at. And on top of everything, the ice axe I bought as personal memorabilia that I could hang on the wall after summiting, I scratched that up on the traverse going up. So officially,
That's been
I've
used.
used my ice axe
We have
on
to
a
sign it,
fucking
yeah? We
mountain.
have to sign it.
Yes, absolutely.
And
I
we didn't
think
even
that's-
use our ice axes. Like we left them at the bottom, we left them at the bottom of the fucking the ice wall.
Yeah, I'm the only guy that bought an ice axe specifically for the trip. You guys rented it, and nobody used a fucking ice axe the entire
That-
time.
For the
should be-
pictures, not for the picture.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should
So-
be a picture actually for the podcast. Your
And
ice
the-
axe.
yeah, my ice
yeah,
axe.
yeah,
So
ice
yeah,
axe.
I called it and I turned around at about 5,800 meters, and then I collected Victoria at about 5,700 meters.
Yeah.
According
According to my phone, 5,664.
There you go. You were doing fantastic, and at your pace, you probably would have made it up. But it also was. The climb is definitely intense. It's not sketchy if you're at sea level, but at fucking 5,800 meters, it's sketchy.
nighttime holding on to that little rope. Over
Yeah,
a cliff. It's
with the
pretty
fucking
sketchy.
headlamp and all
And
that.
0 degrees.
Yeah.
Because there's at that altitude, it's about half the oxygen available in
Exactly.
the air
Yeah.
than what you had of sea level.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference.
Well, and on top of everything, it turned out to be a lucky call for me because my headlamp went out once. I replaced the batteries, and then it died again on the
But you
way
didn't
down.
have time to fucking stop and replace the batteries. I was
Yeah.
following Alberto's
for
slide,
sure.
and I'm like, Alberto is
Extreme
fucking
pace
smashing
here,
it.
0.4
Of
k's
course.
per
And
hour.
I'm like, okay, I have to.
burning into the distance.
I have to keep
I was
Boy,
46.
when you start doing triathlons, if you can keep that 0.4 to 0.6 an hour, you're gonna do fucking great.
Yeah, it can time, no? It don't even start.
So Victoria and I descended back down. I threw up 4 times on the way down and collapsed into base camp. But you guys were still on your way up, so I kind of have nothing left to say about this trip.
I think Alberto has to start talking about that because Alberto was the first to summit and he thrived on the altitude. So Alberto, you crack on and tell us your experience from the moment.
Not much to
you
say.
left.
I mean, I was
Amazing.
His being the first up means he bought us lunch today, so cheers for
Oh,
that. Yeah.
No, luckily I could sleep before. Like the night before, I could sleep like 4 or 5 hours.
The night, it was from 5 to
Yeah,
10.
sorry.
You slept 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah, which is a record, no? Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then woke up and had breakfast.
0.6 per hour.
And then I felt really good. I felt really good, and yeah.
But you had a hard time when we arrived at base camp,
It's
huh?
feeling horrible, yes.
Yeah.
Getting there, yeah, I had massive headache.
Yeah.
It was probably the worst I felt all trip. But then I could sleep and food, and then I was feeling good. Yeah.
It's a really funny fact about Alberto. Like he feels bad before the final push because last year, I remember your brother and you all have headache and you couldn't sleep as well in Gorakhshep.
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
Like when we, what's that one? The
Kalapatar.
Kalapatar, yeah.
yeah.
But Kalapatar, then Alberto was racing up, no problem, not feeling any altitude sickness or anything at all. And it's incredible because like when I was looking at him in a base camp island peak, I was like, fuck, is he gonna even make it? Because he was like headache, he was asking for the pills for the headache, aspirine and nasal spray.
Yeah, the day
And
before was
like
really bad.
you felt really bad, huh? And
Yeah.
then like you had so much
And
power.
then somehow, I
and
don't
so
know what
much
happened,
strength.
but
It's mountains, huh?
yeah.
It's funny though, right? Because altitude, you can be fine on one trip and fuck the next.
Ah, yeah.
Well, like, this was my second trip to the mountains, and I did Kilimanjaro and did not do well. I did okay on that one too, but that was the first
did
one, and I
amazing.
pushed too hard to get up and had bad altitude sickness and diamox and whatnot. And this time I was like, I don't care what these monsters are gonna do. I'm gonna go slow. And the poor Sherpas didn't even try to set a pace for me. They were like, fuck it, we're just gonna walk behind this one. She's so slow. But I felt really good the whole time, so I can really recommend it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you definitely, Alberto, had the same strategy as well because of your like conditions. You still took it very slow to get up.
Well, he took it slow
Yeah.
for him. He was fucking killing the rest of us.
Yeah.
No, yeah, all week,
But
yeah, I
for
was
you.
walking super slow. Super
On
slow.
a-
Yeah, I really
Which-
thought about that.
Perfect way to do it.
And then probably, yeah, I was lucky then on the last night, I was just feeling good.
I mean, from Victoria did excellent the entire time, but we determined one thing on the trip. Every time that I've come to the region, I've had stunning weather. Like, I'd never seen rain.
Lucky charm.
Yeah, I'd never seen rain in the region at all.
Dean, the ray of sunshine.
Yeah. Apparently.
It's like opposites attract. It's like a balance, right?
Right,
If you put up with Dean, you get nice weather at least. Like, it balances out.
Yeah. So we determined that I affect the weather up here, and it was perfect. And Victoria's only other trip to a high mountain, her friend was evacuated off. And this time, there were multiple evacuations going on everywhere. So you're the cause of the evacuations.
Evacuations.
Yeah.
If you want to get evacuated, travel with me.
Yeah.
It's a great plan.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Let's ask
Yeah, so when I left you guys, how did it go for you? Because I don't know how far below Crampon Point I was.
Well, like, it was pretty terrible for me because we were kind of together. Like, Alberto and Olga were powering up with McMahon.
Yeah, you and I were.
And then we'd kind of fallen just enough behind that we could see their torches, but we couldn't see the path they were taking.
Right.
So I'm using all this energy, not only getting up the mountain, I'm fucking dying, but, like, where is the trail? And it turns out, like, the next day when it was light and I came down, I was, there's no trail.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? But on the way up, I was like, neither of these options, like, and a couple of times the guide is like, fuck are you doing? Don't go around there. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, like, that's a cliff. Just making my way up, and it was like fighting for every fucking breath. And everyone's like, we should slow down. I'm like, cool, I'm like, at least I'm with Dean, it's fine. That's cool.
And Dean bails.
The elite athletes are up the top, Dean's there, and then Dean's like, I'm heading down. And I'm like, fuck. And I was like, honestly, I feel like shit, but I don't want to go down there in the dark. Like, I can barely go up in the dark. I'm going to stay here in the dark. I was like, I don't have any options here. I was like, I'm just going to keep going, like, really slowly. And I was like, as long as I have enough energy to, like, make it back. And I was like, let's just do a pace that you can maintain for the next 10 hours, which turns out to be 3 steps and stop. And 3 more steps and then stop again. Like,
0.4 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
that's probably best pace, that's the average. And that probably includes the downwards pace as well. So, like, imagine it was very slow. And I think when we got to the Crampon Point, it was, like, fucking dead. But then it got a bit better because then it was quite cool. It was like we had the Jumas and we were going over these like crevasses and like these, like don't slip or you're going to die. But also like very cool because I'm no longer like just doing these endless switchbacks in the dark. Now I'm doing technical rope work in the dark.
Right.
So at least it mixed it up a little bit. All my water was frozen. I gave you all the warm water.
Yep.
Tried to eat a Snickers bar. It felt like chewing sand. No, so just
Only time to spit out a Snickers, huh? On top of that mountain.
On top of the mountain, tried to eat a Snickers and just it's pristine white snow and then there's just chunks of Snickers.
Yeah.
Well, I remember on the descent thinking it would just be faster if I fell. Like, I should just fucking roll down the mountain. If I survive it, at least I'm at the bottom of the fucking mountain.
It's a puffy jacket. It'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
Tuck and roll.
It's lots of So the technical stuff when we got up to, or when you guys got up to Crampon Point, Alberto, how was that for you?
It was intense, yeah.
Yeah, because you had messaged me after the fact. You're like, that was
probably like 45 degrees straight.
More,
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, it was super cool actually. Yeah, like
because you're kind of doing it at that point, right?
Huh?
You're doing it at that point. Like you're like, fuck. But
it's like things you see in the movies. I never done that before. Like so technical. I was like,
we had 45 minutes of training the day before. We were ready.
Yeah. Never used the Jumar before.
Absolutely, we climbed a fucking 2-meter rock 4 times. We're ready.
All the gears and no idea.
Yep.
Don't even have my ice axe.
Yep. The Jumar faces which direction?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously the 3 of you guys made it to the top, and congratulations. It's fucking fantastic. I think it's awesome. And Alberto made it first to the mountain, which meant that he paid way too much money for lunch today.
Since the mountain is growing.
Yeah, the mountain grows, like, 8 millimeters or something every year. So technically Alberto summited first, but lowest.
I was the lowest, yes. I still pay lunch, so...
Probably explains his lack of altitude sickness.
But he's also dramatically taller than all of us, so his head was still higher.
It's closer to that,
Yeah, fair enough.
Semantics.
So, I mean, after it's all said and done, it was a shitload of work, but was the trip worth it for the ascent?
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, it just, insane.
Okay, worth it?
Yes. After 2 days.
After a few days, yes.
You
when
realize,
we got up on top of the mountain, when you summit the peak, I was always imagining I'm gonna summit and I'm gonna be standing there proud and full saying
With everyone, group of
yeah,
friends,
like
taking
a
some
group of
pictures,
friends.
group
Exactly,
photos.
yeah. When I summited, I started crying because I'm like, oh fuck, I don't have to climb any higher. You know, like fuck yeah. I waited for Emma for a little bit, and to me it was like I had my mom's photo with me, so like that was something was keep me going. And when Emma got there, and she also collapsed on the ground, you know, like it was just like
the mind just pictures of me lying on the ground. I got there and just lay down.
And we had, and like when we were getting to the summit, we were like, oh, we're gonna take so many photos, we're gonna take so many videos,
group
you know,
pictures,
like group pictures. We're gonna be standing there taking slow mo of us like wind on the back, you know, like fuck that. We got there, I'm like, I just wanna go down. Can we just go down?
Yeah,
right now?
I literally
Like,
spent like 3 minutes there.
Yeah.
And then I told the guy like, I want to
Let's
leave.
go down. Yeah,
I
it's
wanna go
beautiful.
down.
Actually, 3 minutes?
Probably 3 minutes. 3-4
It
minutes.
is amazing. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
yeah.
It's like you look and you see all these mountains that you want to conquer one day, not today, one day in few months. Ask me, then maybe. But like, yes, it's beautiful. You conquer the mountain. You summit the mountain. You summit Island Peak, but you're so fucking exhausted that you
It's
just
cold,
wanna,
you have
and it's
headache,
cold,
you
and
like-
you have a headache, and it's altitude sickness, everything. Yeah, you just
Little
wanna
bits of
fucking
Snickers
go
all over
down.
And Snickers everywhere.
You can sit down and have a picnic there. You're not
No, it's
gonna be like
crazy.
sitting there, oh, I'm gonna have like my water, I'm gonna have my Snickers, because you don't have any appetite, you don't have any thirst, you just wanna fucking go down.
Sure.
But yeah, like, I mean, now, few days after, it's an incredible achievement, and I'll take it, and you guys will probably take it as well. Like, but once you there, you just feel so exhausted, and all your energy goes into one question: can I get down safely? Because it's not fucking easy.
No. Well,
This
when
is, Emma, your first mountain, huh? You've been trekking like for 5 minutes before you decided to peak.
Fifth hike.
Yeah, fifth hike.
I only nearly died on 3 of them now. So, next one I'm due for a good one.
Yeah,
Be easy.
yeah. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. So when is the next hike going to be
Oh,
for you?
yeah, let's not book it in now.
Yeah.
But I remember like when the first day we get to Namche, or we do this like acclimatization hike, and everyone can see Everest, and everyone's like, oh, I have tears in my eyes the first time I saw Everest, and I remember looking at it and I was like, yeah, big rock. Like, actually,
such a fucking Kiwi thing.
but actually, like, I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at like Lhotse because it's covered in cloud, and I was like, you can't even fucking see it. And then I was like, oh, it's that one. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's just a slightly bigger rock.
Yeah. And it looked bigger from that point. And we get to the top, and I was like fucking exhausted. I was like, okay, I guess the view's nice. And I was like, okay, this isn't really evoking any emotion. And then I did get tears in my eyes. It was on the way back when I saw base camp. I was like, thank fuck, like I've made it. Sleeping bag. Like, and it was only a sleeping bag for an hour, because then we had to pack and hike another fucking 3 hours to another shithole village.
Yeah, no, I felt pretty fucking emotional when I got back down as well, and got into the tent. But I remember thinking, fuck, that took everything out of me, and those guys were still on their way up.
Yeah,
We're
babe,
even
you got
halfway,
stuck getting into the tent.
I know I got
You're
stuck.
back.
I couldn't take my backpack off. I tried to get in the tent and I got stuck.
Backpack.
Yeah, with the backpack, trying to get in the tent. And Victoria had to
come
let
and
me in the
rescue.
tent. And I literally just collapsed into the tent. I was that fucking done. But so the descent for me was incredibly difficult, but it had to have been so much harder for you guys because you went to the top.
Yeah, it was like endless. It was
It wouldn't stop,
boring
right?
as fuck.
Yeah.
How much rappelling can you fucking do? At one point, you're just jumping
Yeah.
and hoping for the best. Like,
it just cooked. Yeah, like you see the base come from far. It's like, oh, just there, it's it. And then it's like you still have 5-6 hours to walk down.
Yeah.
And your legs is cooked, and you're just tired.
I think on the ascent there was the same mindfuck, right? Because you get to a crampon point, and then you get a crampons on, and you harness on, and you climb. There is a sunrise, and you see the top, and you're like, okay, there is an ice wall, and you're like, whew, fuck, we're almost there. And the guy tell you, yeah, it's another 2 hours. You're like, what the fuck?
yeah,
It's right there.
What do you mean? It's like,
But
it's,
you still have the adrenaline of like going up, and like you want to reach the summit. But
you did.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you have the excitement of like you want to get there. But then when you get there, you spend 3 minutes and you're just freezing. It's like, okay, well, I want to go down
weather
now.
ever, and we had imagine like if you would not, because like we were freezing in the best fucking weather.
Yeah, the day before was like 40 knots, a whole lot of people, like queues. We got so lucky.
We were
we had the flawless trip in regard to weather and conditions the whole time, and it was still hardcore for sure.
Yeah.
So when I got down to the bottom, I collapsed into the tent. I tried to rest as much as I could, checked my oxygen level, and I was at 63. Tried the deep breathing and all that shit, and it stayed at 63. Took a nap, checked it again, it was at 63. So I'm like, fuck, this is not good. Like, I should be descending, because Andre was evacuated off the mountain at 69, and I'm dramatically higher up at 63. So Victoria and I get all our shit together and take the horrible trek from base camp back to the next village, which is Chuking.
And it's the easiest trek of the entire trek.
And it was
right?
on my way up. It was my favorite fucking trek ever. I was grinning ear to ear. And on the way
you
down,
were so happy.
I was so happy. And I'm stumbling back into there. And by the time we get there, I'm like, all right, I'm proper fucked. Yeah, I mean, my voice is still fucked now. And while laying in the bed in the tea house there, we made the call to the head of our troop asking, hey, how does the insurance stuff work with flying down? Because the only way to fix any type of altitude sickness is to descend, but you got to be able to fucking walk to get down. And I was wiped out. So through the same friend that helped set up the entire trip, the next thing you know, Victoria and I have a helicopter ride booked down from 4,800 meters all the way back down to Kathmandu in the same 24-hour period that we'd been up at 5,800 meters trying to climb a fucking mountain. So we end up all the way back in Kathmandu having a fucking fresh shower and a meal the same day that we were trying to do this. Because we have the most amazing friends ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was incredible. But, so you guys got down and were pretty fucking destroyed as well.
We were expecting to see you guys, by the way, jogging down.
Yeah. Because we were told, hey, if they can make it back in time to catch the helicopter with you guys, they'll be able to come down. So we sat outside looking for Alberto's bright orange jacket going, it's going to be any second.
Olga turquoise.
They're going to be motoring down. And then we find out, no, you guys are having to work a little harder.
Yeah.
So what happened with that?
Anyone? Okay. So like honestly, we all, apart from Alberto, like me and Emma, we had a very severe altitude sickness. Climbing up, I knew that it's just like you have to preserve yourself to make it to the top and make it to the bottom. But like honestly, the altitude sickness kicked in really hard. And when we made it down, I collapsed in my tent, and Emma did as well. And then we also had to trek back.
Yeah, the same fucking horrible 8
kilometers.
Yeah, we're trying to pack, and they're like, you've got to leave. The porters want to leave now. You've got to get your bags ready.
Yeah. It was like very like. So we actually made it to Chungung village, and it was like, okay, we just want to sit down, have some water. Because the water was frozen on the way up, right? So like we were,
and we couldn't eat or drink anyway, so it didn't really matter. The water was frozen.
Yeah, like it was like dehydration was there.
It's frozen. We can't have it.
Yeah,
so.
but obviously, Dean, you said to our friend that we were not okay. So we received the multiple calls that like, okay, guys, you need to go down, and we're like, okay, like actually, we're all happy to go down because fuck that mountain, fuck any mountain. We want to get back to.
I remember as we're walking from base camp to Chuking, you have like amazing views of Island Peak, and the day before we were like laughing and taking photos and filming videos, being like, look, this time tomorrow we're gonna be up there, like, yeah, like Shaka, fucking sick. I'm like, Olga, like, look at that. She's like, I'm not fucking looking at the mountain.
But I had the same.
We were just up there. She's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah. But I had the same on our trip back. Like I remember walking into the Island Peak base camp, and I was like, oh my god, I get to be up on that mountain. I didn't even make it halfway, and on the way back, there's this hill with maybe a 10%, 15% incline, and I was like, that's my fucking Everest. I don't even know how I'm gonna make it up that little hill. It took me forever. One step at the time. Oh,
yeah. So like when
confidence really fucking.
When we came to the tea house, I think everyone was so fucked. We were like, okay, just
looking for
like
oxygen.
Looking for oxygen.
We tried to buy oxygen.
Yeah,
we did try to buy the oxygen because I think everyone was so fucked. We just needed some, but they did not have any. Anyway, like friend of us organized a helicopter down, and we're like, okay, like if it's the case, we're not going to turn this opportunity down, right?
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, when I woke up, I was like, fuck, I want to hike down for my mental statement. But now I'm fucking happy I didn't.
then you hiked to the helipad and was like, okay.
Yeah. Then you're dying just trying to get to the
And
helicopter.
especially now, like, ever since Dean got off the mountain, the weather has turned to absolute shit.
Again, reinforcing the fact that apparently I really am weather god because
you are.
I
The
flew
ray of
off.
sunshine.
I flew off the mountain, and that both you and I have lived up to our reputations
have.
because we had stellar weather until I left the mountain. And everybody got evacuated. Our entire group was flown down from 4,800 meters.
No one hiked down.
Nobody hiked
Even
down.
though I tried, but
we all
no one
fucking
did.
flew down from the mountain, and now we're back in Kathmandu. And one of the people that we met along the way that was just going to base camp is now snowed in Gorakshep. Which is the village just below Everest Base Camp, and they cannot even walk down the mountain, let alone fly down the mountain. So apparently I do control the weather.
Man, that is terrible. Like Gorakshep, because we went there last
For
year,
Everest Base Camp.
and this is a shithole. Like, that's
That's the one
a
where you
lot.
send me pictures of the literal shithole, right? Like,
Yes,
that's
like
the toilet is a hole
there
that you
is a
shit in.
shithole as well there, but like this is a place you don't want to get stuck. Like if you're stuck in Namche, there is a bar,
okay, it's
you know, like
beautiful,
it's
yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
If you're stuck in Dimbuche,
I would pay good money to be stuck for a week in Namche. It's
Yeah.
fucking amazing. The tattoo
retreat.
parlor in a bar, cappuccinos, fucking
Irish
wonderful
pub.
people.
yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
Guinness, Bailey's, everything
Absolutely.
you can need.
Fucking fantastic.
Well,
But-
with you guys, you drink to stock to an end and very quickly, so there wouldn't be any Bailey's.
Yeah,
left.
that being said, Olga and Emma literally drank Namche Bazaar out of Bailey's.
I mean,
And this
30
hotel right now, they're already out of Bailey's after like
And the hotel we're in fucking Kathmandu,
Okay,
out
guys,
of Bailey's.
just for a record, imagine if we drink 30 milliliters each of Baileys a day, how much Baileys they have.
Not
stock
much,
up,
yeah.
stock up, and bring yours.
Fair enough. But so, I mean, I still, even though I didn't make it to the summit, I only hit 58, I still consider the trip a huge success. I had a fucking amazing time.
Yeah, it's great.
The people in Nepal are fantastic.
Us?
The trek brings out a part of me that I don't get most of the other time. It's just fucking wonderful.
Then I
It
see
was
the
an
pop.
amazing thing. But for everybody else, does everybody consider it a success?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
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 You
We
can't
also
say you
bad,
sit
no?
on top of the mountain and not
We
call
go
it a
home with
success, right?
fingers and with
toes.
feet,
Fingers and
toes.
toes. Alberto and I
No
have new
frostbite.
tattoos.
Exactly, matching tattoo. Like, what else?
I must say that one of my fondest memories, which is a kind of maybe silly one, was when we arrived in Namche Bazaar and Andre was still with us, and
Maybe
you had
recently.
lost Alberto, you had lost Andre, and we're like, where is he? And we walked out together, Dean, myself, and you, to look for him, and then he's like, and then you said, I think he's playing basketball, and we go
Oh,
there.
yeah, with the kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's
Andre's
shooting
just
hoops.
smashing it.
Although what
Can't even breathe.
I also remember the funny thing was at first I didn't know which one he was because he was the same height as all the kids. Sorry, Andre. True story.
Don't belittle him like that.
No, I would never do
You're
that.
laughing just because you were not playing.
Yeah.
Because you
Well,
wasn't
I'm
there.
the only one that's barely taller than him. So fair.
Yeah, we had
Fair
also a case where they asked for the tall skydiving guy, which was
Oh, yeah.
Alberto, which makes
Yeah,
and
because-
also Dean, the short skydiving
the short
guy.
skydiving guy. Yeah.
He's
fair
very
enough.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't want his number. She just wanted him to pay the bill.
So yeah, I considered the entire trip a huge success. I had an absolutely amazing time, and as we sit in the hotel room, still with a couple of days in Kathmandu to kill, it's been fantastic. It also strikes me as funny. You and I both got tattoos. We got the most fucking cool little flash
Yeah,
tattoo of a yak.
Yeah.
But it didn't dawn on me. You got a larger version and I got a smaller version. And then I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. I can't believe I got a little baby yak and he got the adult yak. What the fuck?
Big yak.
But we named his yak. Have you named yours?
No, actually, no.
Yeah, we named
I'll
his
think about
yak
it. How?
Pimba.
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 It makes you
Pimba.
Migma.
Ah.
Because Pimba is Saturday in Sherpa language.
And
Yeah.
Migma is your guide that
Yeah.
guide you all the way
All the way
to
up.
the
Migma. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so last pieces of advice for anybody looking to go climb some hills in
Don't.
Nepal.
Don't.
No, do it with Explore Himalaya.
and lots of preparation, right?
A lot of preparation.
All right.
I think, I'd say as well, big shout out to the company Explore Himalayas. They did their best
Absolutely
to,
amazing,
like, they're great, and it's the second trip with them. But I'd say, like, if you want to conquer the altitude that we did, like over 6,000, make sure you have more time to acclimatize.
Yeah.
I'd say if we would spend more time in a base camp, Island Peak, we would have more, probably everyone would summit. Everyone would summit because no one would have a problem with the altitude sickness. More time to acclimatize. Just make sure your trip is not like, we were very short on time, right?
We told them that. We said this is our window.
This is a window, make it happen, and we smashed it as we could. But spend more time on the altitude. More time on the altitude.
Nice. Yeah, I mean...
And bring your own Baileys because you drank everywhere fucking dry. What a shock.
I mean, time frame wise, we couldn't have asked for better with the weather window that we had because it obviously went to shit shortly after we finished. But weather is not something that you can plan around. You have to just hope
Unless you have
to Unless I'm with you, in which case you're going to be fine.
That's a trade-off. So
Yeah. You have to deal with me. You have to deal with me.
As a girl, I would say that I was the only one who didn't have a little pee bottle with me. And so as a girl, I say bring your pee bottle. What was the brand that you guys had?
I don't know the brand, but hit me up. 3 things as a girl you have to bring: your pillowcase, your water bottle, pee water bottle of shitty,
don't drink
and your hand cream just for a little bit of luxury.
100%.
I must admit that I did feel kind of bad when I was peeing in a bottle and you had to keep getting up out of the tent.
I got maybe out 4 or 5 times.
And on the third time,
while Alberto was snoring in the tent.
And the third time that you got up to go pee, I actually handed you my pee bottle and asked you to empty it.
That's married life for you.
Married life.
Wow.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and relive the experience that we just had. I can't recommend it enough. Explore Himalaya. Anuj and all the guys there, everybody took fantastic care of us. We had an amazing time. And otherwise, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cheers. Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Clinkety, clink, clink.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Lunatic Fringe podcast brought to you as always by, well, wait, not as always, actually. Brought to you now by Gyro. Formerly known as NZ Aerosports, you'll head to gyro.com for their next level line of canopies. By Pussfoot, the Extreme Sports Collective. Head over to pussfoot.com to check it out. By Summit Parachute Systems, check out summitparachutesystems.com to talk to Jarrett Martin and the gang about kick-ass pilot rigs, rigging courses, and more. By Flyaway Indoor Skydiving, go to flyawaytn.com and check out all the cutting-edge stuff to come. By Pure Spectrum CBD, head to purespectrumcbd.com to check out their wide range of CBD products. And as for us, head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com to listen to any of the hundreds of episodes currently available, hit the link for our YouTube channel, pick up your copy of the Lunatic Fringe book or The Accidental Stripper, and get a sneak peek at upcoming guests. Once again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.